Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon back on the DCUO test server. And we're going to be looking at least one thing here, because they updated the content to switch over to the next event, which is Valentine's Day. And just like last year, it's going to go immediately from the anniversary event to Valentine's Day, no break. So beginning of February, it's going to switch over. And the other thing here is they updated the scoreboard, so I'm not sure we'll get to look at that in this video. I'm just going to concentrate on the Valentine's Day items. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the journal. Love will find a way. So it looks like they're giving us a gift. Oh no, that's the old one where they granted like some feats from the previous event, the one before the Star Sapphires. There was a very classic one that most people haven't seen. Okay, so nothing new there. I don't remember where to pick up this quest.
I know what you're thinking.
Okay, it's Hal Jordan East End.
Forcing love on everyone in the city with no regard.
And I don't have the teleporter mods on the test server, so we're going to have to go there the old-fashioned way. Let me make sure I have test server currency. 3. Because I'm basically just going to clean out the vendor and then we'll take a look at the items. So let me get a couple more just in case. So it seems like there are going to be a few things different, at least that I know of so far, because SJ tweeted a picture of Mara, and it looked like she's in Gotham near Ace, maybe? So there could be some other side mission. Hoping it's not too long, because one of the things I liked about Valentine's Day is it's probably the most efficient event. Well, maybe St. Patrick's Day is better, but let's see. Okay, this is the race. And then let's see what Hal says.
Mr. Freeze and his goons are interfering with the Star Sapphires and risking the safety of Gotham City. Head there and assist the Star Sapphires in any way you can.
Okay, so all of that sounds the same. Except, like, if you look at the quest list on the right, it says speak with Mara in Gotham City. The other stuff is the same. Alright, so let's go for the items first. So there's an aura that you can buy outright, not completing a collection. So that looks like a very wide, glimmering aura. And there's some styles here. Metropolis University Letterman. So these are actually some pretty cool generic looking jackets. Popcorn machine. And it's 50, so this must do something. Okay, it probably gives you collections and gray loot, of course. Sort of call a fountain. There's 2 theater screens, theater doors. You know what? Let's just buy this stuff and look at it. Okay, so we got the aura. Get a close look at the jackets. Alright, so we have up to the fountain. some trash. 2 theater screens. Now I'm going to consume them all for the base, and we'll see if everything fits. Wow, there is a lot of stuff here. Okay, so this starting here is the old stuff. Love notes, yep, that's old. The trinkets are updated to scale up to 191, so you might want to consider getting those as well. Now, I believe that's just an item level that goes into the average. I think the trinket itself probably has the same stats as before, as far as buffs. Okay, so the rest of that's old. Now let's warp back to base. I don't remember if I'm in Metropolis or Gotham. All right, let's do the styles first. Okay, so the aura itself is already an instant feat. Let's get a really good look at this. That actually matches her colors, red and gold. Okay, it's not the glimmering aura at all. There's definitely some other dust particles in there, but it's a nice big aura. And it kind of looks cool when you run too, when you move. So let's see the colors on this. If we set it to white. Okay, so that actually looks like a college jacket. Or a typical college jacket where the arms are a different color. So it's pretty cool. You can probably customize these to your own school as well. Let's see what the Metropolis one looks like. Okay, so they're the same but just have a different logo. So this is a nice basic item. And there's an emblem slot on the arm. Okay. Now let's look at the separate base items first, and then I'll go into the packs, so that way I don't miss anything. So popcorn, there's going to be 2 trash cans. There's a popcorn machine, soda fountain. Okay, so those 4 things give the base feat. So this is the new thing where the entire set doesn't give the feat. You just have to get a few items, which is good. And then they didn't put the League Hall items in there, so that you don't have to consume a League Hall item just to get a feat. So you got 2 doors, 2 screens. Oh no, I don't have free placement. Alright, so let's see, 2 trash. Scattered trash, popcorn. Ah, it's just basically like the food items on the floor. Popcorn machine, that is nice. And then there's a soda fountain. Well, I'm definitely going to be revamping the theater. Okay, so what else was there? There were so there are screens. So the screen is not a wall item. What? Oh wait, free placement, right? Okay, so the theater screens are wall items. Oh boy, that's going to be a problem for me. Alright, let's see what the large one looks like. I'm saying that because my movie theater doesn't have the screen on a wall. So I might have to redo that. Okay, yeah, this one is definitely League Hall. That is not going to fit anywhere here. But in a League Hall, this should look relatively small. Like it should fit on any of the walls there. And it's got the, you know, the classic static from, you know, like the old drive-in movies. What else did we have? Okay, so the theater doors are a floor item. Now this will work in my theater, my dive base, where this can actually replace the entrance. And let's look at the League Hall one. Oh no, it's not a League Hall one, it's just theater doors open. Okay, so this is a good one to put in like the alcoves, because that way you can still walk through it. Of course, I'm assuming you could actually walk through it, because sometimes you can't. Okay, but they did it right. Okay, I wanted to do the packs separately just so I don't get them mixed up. Theater concession stand base item box contains 5 concession stand items. Okay, I like the way they're handling this, where they're boxing up a whole bunch of items, because, you know, it would be overwhelming to have these in the vendor. Okay, so we got theater marquee, concession counter. Okay, they all have theater in it, so. Oh wow, these are huge. I will try to fit this in my little dive theater. Actually, this is not too bad because it would be replacing, like, I had like pub items in there. Okay, so this is cool. It's a corner so you could kind of customize the pieces. Okay, yeah, so that's 5 items there. This one is kind of big. This is the one I might not be able to fit into the dive. But definitely good for building a theater inside the League Hall. Alright, box number 2, we've got theater curtains. So right now I'm using Valentine's Day curtains to represent theater curtains. Okay, so these are all ceiling items. Let's go upstairs. Alright, so there's a long curtain. So the nice thing about this is that they're giving us all the pieces that we need to customize. Alright, so we got the curtains box. Alright, so these are just the same thing but League Hall. We got large curtains. Because obviously those small ones, if you put them in the League Hall, no one will ever see them. They'll be too short to hit the ground. But we'll take a look at that because I'm curious about how long they are, because the League Hall has varying ceiling heights. But let's take a look at these posters. So it's just they're giving them pretty generic names. Are they going to be Justice League stuff? Oh, I'm consuming the large ones. That's alright. I mean, you pretty much know those are going to be League Hall items. Let's put them up here. Okay, so they're giving us just generic posters. Not Justice League. Not DCEU. Oh, so the big ones will actually fit in some places on the base, but these are obviously League Hall. Okay, let's actually go to the League Hall and look at the curtains there. So I'll try them in the observation deck because that has the highest ceiling, and we'll see if it looks funny. Now, I doubt it's going to touch the ground on here. Right, okay, so you're not going to put them in the observation deck. Probably one of these lower ceilings. Now, they're all the same height, so I'm just going to put them in various places to gauge what they take up. Alright, so it does touch the ground there. And I also want to see if we can run through them. Okay, so it's just like the Valentine's Day one, it's not a solid item. So you could block like a doorway and then still run into them without destroying them. Alright, so this area has the same high ceiling as the observation deck. And this is slightly higher than the hallway, so it's worth testing in this room. I would love to cover this one because in my personal League Hall I have like a bedroom, like a sleeping quarters here. And it's kind of okay, it's a little bit short. So these are kind of good for the lower areas. But if you were building a theater, where would you put it? Because the screen is a wall item, but there aren't many... I mean, I guess this could be... You could like convert this doorway into a theater. But yeah, the curtains wouldn't work in one of the, the middle area. Because it's just too high up. Unless you're going to have it so that the curtains are like elevated up. Like with the movie In Session. you could do that. And then in the small hallways, you're not going to put a theater in here. I mean, I guess you could, but it's a little tight. I kind of wish that they gave us like a longer theater row, because we have the regular seats that are just, it's a group of 4. But in a league hall, you kind of want to reduce the item count, so I was hoping they would have like an 8 or something like that. And let's go back to the base. I wanted to check the 50 mark item, which was the popcorn machine, right? Okay, so yeah, this is interactive. And it drops popcorn. Used to butter up friends. Okay, we'll have to see what that does later on. Hopefully that's not doubling as a crafting item, because like the moment it's a crafting item, you can't really just throw them to waste them. So if it's kind of a garbage item, we'll probably do some event around it. But I think those are all the items. So I think what I'll do is let me slip in the scoreboard, but I won't actually show the instance because that'll be boring. So I'll put a cut here, and I'll show you the scoreboard at the end of a solo, and we'll see what differences there are. Okay, so we're back, and we're going to look at the changes to the scorecard. So I just completed Spark of Parallax since it's nice and fast. So the first thing you see is there's a new leaderboard which is really highlighted. It's the biggest thing here. The first thing I notice is that everything looks much neater. This is easier to read. It pulls out most boss damage, most healing, most power given, and most damage received. So boss damage, that's going to be the DPS stat. Healing done for the healers, power given for the trollers, and damage in for the tanks. So yeah, those are probably the 4 things that people look at. Or actually people only look at the damage, but with me being a tank, I always page to the damage received. So it kind of looks good, but I think it's going to bring out the elitists. So that's kind of the negative whenever you make a new feature. The community will find some negative thing about it and carry that out. So I actually don't think that's a good thing here, to pull these out. And then let's see what the stats. Well, they're separating boss damage, so that's kind of the new thing with the stats. Everything else is old. Yeah, I think the boss damage is important because it's different animal. Like when you're calculating damage against a boss versus the adds, and like some people have customized loadouts for both. So you might have specialists in the group that are good at adds and others that are good at bosses. Alright, so they are retaining the little things like objects destroyed, secures, transports. I think those are important too, especially like in seasonal events. You know, when someone brags about damage and then they have like 0 secures and 0 transports. Leaderboards, I guess you can sort by these. I can't tell because this is only a solo. But you can roll over these and it'll give you the description. Info is basically the same. This is where you would reset the content. Yeah, I think previously info was the first tab, from what I remember. But it would still default to the scoreboard. Okay, so overall, it's neater and it splits out boss damage. So those are the 2 main things about it. The scoreboard itself, I don't think ever had like a real performance problem, so I think not much to do that on that menu. I mean, there are certainly other menus in the game that could use a performance optimization. Scoreboard seems okay. Okay, that will be it from the test server. So this stuff should be up soon because they've been, taking stuff down and putting stuff up within the same update, and that's going to happen with the anniversary. So I imagine the scoreboard's going to go up the same time as Valentine's Day, unless there's some drastic bug. But okay, so I thought I'd shoot a few minutes on the live server showing my current movie theater. So this is the dive base, and this is just a quick look at the current theater. So this is obviously going to get renovated when I farm out those new Valentine's Day items. So this is a lot of like existing items used to fake a movie theater because we obviously don't have screens and stuff. That's the old Valentine's Day curtains just covering up a bunch of filing cabinets.
It'd clearly go better over here.
So going from the entrance, this door would get replaced with the one that looks like a theater. So the new door is perfect for this. I don't know if I would use the open door anywhere. This pub would get replaced by the concession stand parts. So I'm going to need 2 corners and then enough concession stands to wrap around this area. The large tall concession piece won't really fit in this theme, but what I could attempt to do is just cover up this alcove, maybe move the soda machine as far to this edge as I could, so that way the concession stand would just block off this alcove and then kind of act as the soda machine visually. So I would lose this, which is not much anyway. I mean, these are just filler items anyway, just a refrigerator and some posters. I'm not really using this space, so I think that's what I'll attempt. And then of course there's like the popcorn stand and the soda stand. So I'll have to get some more of these diving suits to man those. The core of the theater can basically stay the same. Like, there are no parts that would replace these divisions. There are no wall units as tall as these pub items, so I think these would still stay. The theater row chairs are still the best seats. So thankfully I don't have to change this because this is a lot of measuring, and I wouldn't want to redo this part. The curtains would definitely look better than these because this is such a workaround. It starts to look bad like when you go up close, because I'm basically interpenetrating I think 4 of these. But the newer curtains actually look like theater curtains, and I think it'll cover to the bottom so you don't see that last row of filing cabinets. The thing that won't work in this theater though is the screens, because they're wall items. That's why I was kind of disappointed when I was displaying those. I mean, I guess one option is to put them all the way back here, but then it's just going to look funny with, the step up, and then all of a sudden there's this space with nothing in it. So I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I suppose something else I could do is reverse the entire theater. Put the screens on this side. Because that way, like, it makes sense to have like extra seating on a higher platform, but it would be weird if, if the screen was elevated and then there was just a whole bunch of empty space here. So I might think about that, reversing the entire theater. Although, like, entering the base would be weird because you'd be entering at the screen. And also, I kind of like the basis of this already. I don't want to change it too much. So I might just go without the new screens you know, just cover this up with curtains, and I guess I'll see what that looks like first. But yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. This space is definitely going to get updated, and it will get a new video. Okay, that's it from here. Thanks for watching.